Okay, so that said, I'm wondering who they are thinking should have been nominated and for what.
Specifically, they're thinking Selma, the Martin Luther King film. Pretty much the lead male and lead female in that, as well as the director of that, is one of the main things. And also, they were talking about Ava DuVernay, who was for Selma, and Angelina Jolie. Everyone was making a big deal about Unbroken, her feature debut as director, getting lots of praise and awards, but it's really not happening for some reason.
Was it just not that well directed compared to the other nominated? But
I don't know.
Actually, this is something I meant to ask you about. Is it true that there's 10 slots for nominations?
For which category?
For Best Picture, for example.
Yeah, they expanded Best Picture into 10.
So why don't they use 10 slots then?
Maybe there aren't 10 good movies.
Is there like they take numbers and then if they don't make the percentage marking of the first one, then they don't make the cut? Is that it? Or
well, the Academy can nominate up to 10 movies, but it only did 8 this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what the harm would have been. I don't know how they decided not to nominate more of them.
Yeah.
All we can really hope for is that members of the Academy actually watch the films this year, as opposed to just voting for the famous ones, as a number of them admitted to last year.
Yeah. So Meryl Streep, congratulations in advance.
Well, anyone who wants real dissection of those films should really just listen to Is It a Bicycle over the course of the next few weeks.
Yep. Okay. What you see this week, Mike?
I hit the DVD store.
Oh yeah.
Got a Sabotage, Arnie movie from last year, where his team, he's a team of DEA agents who are all undercover, and they start getting killed one by one, and poor old Arnold has to exercise his noggin to try and figure out why.
Good lord.
Bit strange.
Did he strain himself to be?
Yeah.
he looked under pressure at times.
The movie was 5 hours long.
Yeah. But a bit of a departure for him. You know, he's kind of accepted the fact that, you know, he can't do Conan movies anymore. So there's a bit more emphasis on plot and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually wasn't a bad old show. You know, for an Arnie kind of a thing in his later years. Also, I had a look at Deliver Us from Evil. Do you remember that really creepy trailer we reviewed? It would have been the early part of last year.
Yes. With Eric Bana. He plays a cop who finds ghosts, and he's like, I'm arresting you because I'm a ghost cop.
That's right, yeah. I had actually been afraid to watch this movie because the trailer creeped me out so much with all the moving toys and stuff like that. And I was really, really disappointed with how uncreepy it was when I actually watched it. It's a bit like From Dusk Till Dawn. It's a genre mixing thing. Starts out as a cop movie and then turns into an exorcist movie.
Hail Mary, full of grace, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say can and will be used to expel you from this mortal plane.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So actually, the cop part of the movie was pretty good. It was very atmospheric, and Eric Bana did a top job on it. But the exorcisty part of it was pretty crap. It was a big letdown. They went loud with it.
Was it one director?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just wondered.
I think you're thinking of the popular all-male boy band, Steve.
Boom. So Sean, you caught up with Agent Carter 2 and 3, episodes 2 and 3, I believe, as did I.
I did indeed. It's rocking. The show just keeps fucking moving.
I'm just quite surprised that I'm enjoying it so much. You know,
didn't you give this a filler?
No, I certainly didn't.
Okay.
No. This is the one that I was quite surprised with. And, I was expecting another more comic booky, like The Flash kind of a thing, where script is a little bit weak, and in my opinion. Sorry, Sean. But no, this is great. Yeah, really enjoying it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll have to catch up with it.
And, what was the other one? Elementary is back, of course.
Elementary's back. Business as usual, which is really all I want about it.
Yeah. Well, it's business as usual, but it's got some nice little additions to they've kept it fresh. Like, they do have another significant character in it, and I think it's doing the show lots of good, actually.
It's doing original things, which one, they have to do because they have 22 or 23 episodes per year.
Yeah.
And two, it's something that the 3 episode a year, if we feel like a Sherlock show with BBC, doesn't necessarily ever need to do, come up with new characters.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. Okay. So let's crack on. Let's go to the first of our movies, which is Whiplash. Who wants to tell us about Whiplash?
Whiplash is about a young jazz drummer who makes it onto the band at his incredibly prestigious music conservatory program. However, the conductor in charge of this band, played by J.K. Simmons, is a bit maniacal and a bit aggressive in his methods. So he's put under incredible pressure, and their relationship and the film goes from there.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is a real high school football coach, bully type, OCD.
Yeah. I kept thinking of Private Pile.
Yeah, Private Pile, exactly. Drill sergeant. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what you think of this?
I really liked it while I was watching it. And then after I finished watching it, I realized I'd been had. This is a stupid movie.
What? Okay, I'm ready, Mike.
Yeah, come on,
Go
Mike.
for it.
Well, your man Simmons is great. He's just entertaining every moment that he's on the screen. Because he's this kind of balancing act between your best friend and a complete fucking nutjob. But he's just a caricature. You know, you're wondering what's his motivation. You know, he has this speech where he tries to explain himself in later parts of the movie, and it just doesn't make any sense.
This is your Calvary defense all over again.
The Calvary defense.
I don't know why he's a priest. Who knows?
You're still bitter, Mark. You're still bitter.
Whereas in Whiplash, he goes, this is why he does this, or this is why I do this. And you go, yeah, that makes sense. Cause and effect makes sense. You're a bit nuts. But we covered that when we said you were OCD and a bit of a drill sergeant. But Mike goes, no, I dispute this character motivation you have presented me with. I find it insufficient.
Yeah.
Film rejected.
Yeah, I shall therefore shit on your movie.
Yeah, like I don't get how you can do that. Like.
I also had problems with the girlfriend character. She was utterly pointless. I think they just put her in because they had thought of a couple of good scenes, and then they said, "Yeah, you know, we don't care about her. Let's not bother with a relationship here."
I think she was there to reflect his dedication to his instrument and his profession, and that nothing was going to stop
that's
him in his journey to being one of the greats. Mike.
Yeah, so you see, she's a tool. She's not a character.
Mike, did you watch a Swedish version of this film by any chance? Because usually you're pretty on the ball with catching things. Like Steve has just called out that the girlfriend was, you know, a character development and plot device. And you seem to think she served no purpose.
But that's what I'm saying. She's not a proper character. She's just a tool.
But that's okay.
No, it's not okay.
I'm
there aren't a lot of
there was
characters in
background
this.
actor as well whose story wasn't fully fleshed out. There was like a third drummer in the movie. We didn't really get to see what happened with him later on either. Sometimes people are in movies. Yeah. Sometimes people are in movies for other characters' stories. This happens, okay?
Well, it shouldn't. And I'm not happy.
You weren't happy about that.
No,
So
I
was
wasn't
this
happy,
on?
but-
Is this all on reflection? This is what you're saying. After the movie, you felt you had.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like, as I was watching the movie, I was drawn into it. I said, yeah, this is fine. I thought, man, he really hits that drum a lot. and then the other thing that started to annoy me was that they used jazz instead of classical music. You know, I could get the whole drill instructor thing.
He's a drummer.
Yeah.
But
Mozart didn't have a drum kit.
Yeah. So if they gave him a proper instrument,
Come on now, Mike. Come on,
and
Mike.
put them in a classical system. I could see people who are doing classical music being drilled in such a way that would make some kind of sense to me. Because the perfection is required. But jazz, by its definition, is kind of all over the fucking place.
Man, exactly. That's what it sounds like to the untrained ear. You've just proved the point there, Mike. It does sound like it's all over the place, but it's actually not. And that's because they're so well trained. And
No.
Absolutely.
Horseshit.
Seeing as we were jumping on Mike's points one at a time here, which I'm really enjoying, I would proffer that to an untrained eye, watching two guys compete in an MMA match might look very, very messy with no structure, form, or skill at all. But someone like yourself, Mike, whose eye has been trained, you could immediately see the different positions, the guy's basic skill in those positions, and whether it's a good fight or a bad fight. And your opinion would be different from somebody who's untrained. By the same token, whether they're playing jazz or something else, a good drummer is a good drummer, and a world-class drummer, which our protagonist in this film is trying to become, is a different breed entirely.
Yeah, Mike, sorry, I didn't mean to be jumping on you there.
You are jumping on me. I'm
I
feeling put upon.
No. Obviously, it didn't come across well to yourself.
No,
to your untrained eye and ear, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you're going to pick an instrument for someone to play a lot during a movie, and we have to watch that character emote through the music, through the performance, pick drums. I applaud them for that decision hugely, because their face isn't obscured by anything, as well as the fact that, holy shit, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah, and they can bang the shit out of them to show how angry they are.
Genuinely. And if you're gonna pick someone to play an instrument, they probably gonna want Miles Teller to be able to do it.
Miles Teller, what we see him in Two Night Stand.
Yep, Two Night Stand. He'll be in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie as well.
Yeah, I like Miles Teller, I have to say. He sort of has one of those slappable faces, but
he does,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he's really good. Yeah. J.K. Simmons, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, nomination well deserved, I think.
He's going to win as well.
I was kind of blindsided by this movie, to tell you the truth.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I was kind of... I knew people had said it was fantastic, but I've seen a lot of movies recently that people have said are fantastic, and some of them have been nominated, and I haven't thought they were fantastic. But this one, I don't mind saying it, I thought it was brilliant. And the ending is the best ending I've seen in I don't know how long for a movie, because they say so much without saying anything at all in the last 5-10 minutes or so. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Imagine how much better it would have been if it was a guitar solo.
We've had that. We've had that in we've had that like in Crossroads. Do you remember with Karate Kid?
A much better fucking movie.
No, it wasn't. It was a good movie in its own right and its own time, but I don't. It's not as serious a movie. It's more of a fantasy type thing. Whereas this was.
This is really true to life.
This could have happened.
Yeah, definitely. I really do believe it.
Okay, so Mike's being super passive-aggressive, which is frustrating. Apologies to our listeners. So not only does this happen all of the fucking time, but particularly in America, like there are so many institutions in America that are literally just built around, we will make the best of X, Y, and Z discipline, whether it's artistic, business, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a reason that some of the best schools and perhaps the best schools in the world are in America.
Striving for perfection.
Teachers. And there are teachers with various different teaching philosophies. You actually have to write one of those if you want to apply for a job. A teaching philosophy. I've done it. My one had jokes in it. J.K. Simmons' character's one did not. And when you try and deliver a philosophy in a movie, so often that can be boring as fuck. So often that can just be really blunt and like on the nose. We go, okay, you don't get to say that. You haven't earned it with any subtlety or any actual demonstration. I completely bought the philosophy that he was going for. And maybe I'm painting a culture with a single brush here, but I think it's particularly American as well. Like, genuinely, do whatever you can to succeed. And the way that both characters, Miles Teller's and J.K. Simmons, buy into it, and the way that they're expressed are different for both of them. And the contrasts and the comparisons are amazing. Like, the whole thing of, I have to focus on my art, so I can't do anything else. That can be really, like, okay, go do push-ups, congratulations, run up some steps, Rocky, you're grand. And talk about showing a character's private life in a very small microcosm without it being, as Mike would like to say, something that they didn't explore enough.